This has to stop. Yes. Changing jobs as if you're changing Instagram filters. This has to stop. I'm seeing this every day when there is a lot of talk and writings about the Great Resignation. Have you heard about the Great Resignation? It started off in US and it's now world over. It's believed that 40-50% of people are changing jobs and they are looking for something better in life. The grass does seem like it could be green. Is it so? And is it a good trend to keep changing jobs like this? I just don't understand sometimes what are people actually looking for in life. Is it money? Because once they get money, then they complain about everything else. We all seem to be looking for that elusive company that we want to join. And how do we decide? How do we join this particular company for a job or not? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. What I'm going to be talking about in today's video is what to look for when joining a new job or a new role in a company. My name is Ashok Ramachandran. I'm going to be sharing with you all personal tips of how do I choose or advise my mentees when they're looking for a job change. Let's get started. Organizations are doing a great job in marketing themselves. Especially if you are in a consumer goods environment, you see a lot of brands out on your face. Facebook, Google, McKinsey, Pepsi, Unilever, Procter & Gamble. All these companies have done a very good job to market themselves. And you probably feel that these are the companies that you want to join. Now, remember that these are all huge multinational conglomerates having a huge brand for sure. But you are going to be working in a tiny little office with a particular manager. The first element that you should be looking for when joining a new organization is company culture. Company culture is nothing but what are the unsaid rules in this organization that you want to join? How do people get treated? How do people behave? What sort of treatment is the leadership following, the behaviors that the leadership is following? Now, in your question, you must be thinking, Ashok, all I need is a good job which pays me a lot of money. Isn't that enough? Yes. That's what it sounds like to all of you, that's enough. And it's fine. Maybe the first month you get your salary, you're very happy. The second month, also you're very happy. But as months go by, in Maslow's hierarchy, the needs start becoming bigger. I'll talk about Maslow's hierarchy in another video. When you start getting money, then you complain about a lot of other things. Like, when I talk to my friends in Australia, they all have what I call as first world problems. They would be complaining about the street not being clean. But in India, we have third world problems, right? Which is roti kapda makan, like what we call it. You don't have water at home. You don't have power at home. So when you get your income, when you get your salary, then you start comparing about your boss, about how the workload is so high. And I know so many companies where people are just tired of overwork. So this is what is called culture. And how do you find out about culture? You can check about culture. First of all, you can check online. There are a lot of reviews about companies. Glassdoor, there's a couple of other websites as well where you can if you just put the company's name and say reviews, you will get. But beware, the reviews are normally put by people who are not happy. Happy people don't put reviews usually, if you think about it. When was the last time you were so happy about something that you went and wrote a review? Probably rarely, right? Like I have not, I do read, now I'm doing more and more because I want to appreciate good things. But I didn't also do this for a long time. But if you have a bad experience, of course you're going to be putting it. Of course you're going to make sure that the whole world knows that you had a bad experience. Don't believe them all. Just take one element of that. Then try and connect with people who have worked there or who are working there without revealing everything about what you're trying to do with an interview. You can still find out from them, the kind of company it is, how is it to work there. If you're a fresher, you must be wondering, sir, how do I do this? Well, if you know that certain companies are coming for your campus, do this exercise before. You don't have to wait for the campus interviews to start and then you start figuring out. You may argue it's all not so important, but trust me, it becomes very important for your peace of mind after 6 months or 1 year. Statistics say that fresh graduates, more than 50% of them change their jobs within the first year. This is a big loss for organizations. In fact, I was jokingly telling my HR that let us recruit everyone who has finished 1 year of work experience in a company, because then we know that they don't leave the job. Because people don't leave second jobs so early. First jobs, they leave very, very early. So culture, my friends, is the very important part if you decide to join a particular company. Please, please, please. Oh, yeah. Do not take it lightly. Do at least some research about the company. You will know the difference after you find out about these kind of cultural issues. The second point for me is the particular leader that you have to be working with. Even in my company, the kind of culture that I drive India-wide, is different to the culture that is driven in a region, in a particular location, in a particular department. There are a lot of subcultures, small cultures. And that's where you are going to be experiencing the culture. You may work in a company that has great work culture, but if your boss turns out to be a beep prick, then it's a problem. So we need to be also try and see if we can find out about the boss. See, end of the day, the boss is going to be the one who's going to be working with you every day, right? If the person is not giving you, is micromanaging you, is always expecting you to work long hours, if that person is very insecure, I have seen this. Most people, statistics say that they leave because of the boss, not because of the company. You join a company, but you leave a brand. Remember this point very well. You always don't join with the boss in the head. But when you leave, it's always the boss. So do a little bit of research there as well. If you can't, maybe in the interviews, if your boss is interviewing you, you get a feel if this boss is good or not. Now, I know many of you may join a job because you have no choice. You need the job, you need the money. I understand. But try and do a little bit of work on this, please. Because it will help you at least to adjust your mental status. Because today, whenever I speak to people, they're always complaining about their boss or about the company culture. Money is not the first complaint, trust me. It comes out later to you. Now maybe in your mind, you may be thinking money. The next point is, of course, the brand overall. So that is very easy for you to find. Is it a good brand? How is it a well-known brand? Not necessarily you should join a well-known brand, by the way. There are a lot of small, very nice companies, which I think Schindler is definitely one of them. So another one I know about is in the engineering sector is a company called Hilti, Hilti. There are many like this. Maybe I'll make a separate video on this as well once. You can find out nice little boutique companies that do a great job with employees. So, look for those as well, and doesn't have to be startup or corporate. It can be either of them, because there are good companies in corporates and great companies in startups and bad companies in startups and corporates as well. So just do your research. The next part is your own growth opportunity. That's very important for you. So in the interview, I would actively encourage you to ask them what kind of training programs they have, what kind of development opportunities they have, how do they, and ask them, when you research, find out, do people move around in this company? Have they gone overseas? Have they come back? Have they moved in different departments? Also try and find out what kind of employee policies they have. Like, we have work from home policy, we have international assignment policy, we have development assignment policy, we have education policy, we fund employees' education. A lot of these things, if a company is providing, it may also be a very important value add for you. I request you all, please do not take a job just because they pay very well. It could be a disaster waiting for you. Consider all these points, then you take the job, and I would be so happy for you. Till I see you all next time, firstly, subscribe, but secondly, stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success. Thank you guys and girls. Do click on the subscribe button and notification button to continue watching all the videos that I'm posting.